Hello everyone. So today I was solving this TryHackMe row named Dig Dug, and this is a dig challenge where you are given a DNS server IP and you have to get the flag by specifying a domain name. Things were kind of interesting here. As first of all, I was not able to solve it because my knowledge on this DNS is little bit low, but after a couple of enumeration I was able to solve it, and I found a couple of things that were interesting, so I thought of making this video, and it will be helpful for beginners also. So let's see. Just in case you do not know what's the domain name and IP address, here you can see a picture on your screen. Domain name here is webnotes.com, and the IP behind that webnotes is the IP that you can see on your screen. So if a user visits webnote.com, you can say that it is a domain name. Domain name is webnotes.com. And if you say what's the IP address of this domain name, that IP address behind that domain name is this IP address. For more clarification, let's take a practical example. Here I'm going to use a ping command to google.com to ping the Google. And I'm going to hit Control C to cancel this command. And we can see that IP of google.com. So let's copy this, open a new tab, paste in the IP here, press enter, and you can see we are redirected to the domain name of google.com. So this is how the domain name and IP address works. So if you browse over to google.com simply, it will resolve to that IP address and load that following page. Or if you specify IP address of Google simply, then also you will see the page of google.com. So domain name here is google.com, and IP address is of course the IP that we just pasted in. Let's copy this IP and let's go back to our virtual machine. Let me increase the font so it's a bit more readable. On the challenge, we were told that we are given an IP that is our DNS server. So we know that, yeah, this is a DNS server. Now we are also given a host name, or you can say a domain name, that is givemetheflag.com. As we can see right here, it is written as well that we can find some interesting records, but it seems weird because this DNS server only responds to special types of requests for givemetheflag.com. So this DNS server, that is this IP, is only responding to the request of givemetheflag.com domain. Therefore, with this info, let's perform a dig. I'll say dig. I will explain what is happening in the background. First of all, let's take a look at the solution. So dig and then specify the domain name that you want to query, and then specify the DNS server with the @ sign. Press enter, and you will have the flag pop up here. Now, what's the working? What just really happened? So let's take a look. I'm going to open TCP dump here so I can intercept the traffic that is going on. All right. Also, let's take a look at this @ sign. What does it even mean? Here we can see dig @ we need to specify server after this @. This is used to specify our DNS server. Here we can see it says server is the name or IP address of the name server to query. So we are specifying the name server, which usually contains the IP address and their specific domain name. Let's execute this command one more time. And here we can see the traffic that was sent. This is my TryHackMe VPN IP, and this is the port that was used to send the traffic to this specific domain server, that is 10.10.208.152 that we just specified. So we sent our request to this specific domain server because this is the name server that contains all the records for givemetheflag.com or any other website. You can say that it's like Google DNS server, that is 8.8.8.8, that contains all the domain names and their IP addresses. So if you type in any website name, let's say tryhackme.com, then it will the request will first of all go to the name server or the DNS server of Google, that is 8.8.8.8, and there it will search for tryhackme.com, and then it will look for the IP behind tryhackme.com, and then your request will be sent to that specific IP address so that you get the contents of tryhackme.com. In the same way, we are specifying the name server from where we can get the givemetheflag.com records actually. Now the question may arise that why do we need to specify a name server or DNS server here? But usually, whenever we browse tryhackme.com or any other website on the internet, we do not specify any name server there, and that is because of the machine configuration. Here, if you look at the response of the dig command, you will see it specifies server 10.10.2.8.152.53. 53 is for the port, and this is our uh, name server IP. That is 10.10.2.8.152. So the request was sent. This is the responding DNS server name. So we specified the server to be this. Therefore, it fetched the results from this server only. But in case we do not specify 10.10.2.8.152, then look at where the request will go. This request is going to my localhost IP now, 192.168.194.2 on the 53 domain server, 53 port, sorry. And also you can see if I specify, execute this command one more time, you can see no traffic has been sent or received from Tano IP, or you can say my TryHackMe VPN IP. So no connection or no request was sent to VPN servers of TryHackMe. And if you're wondering what is this IP, then this is my actually virtual machine's localhost IP. Here, if I type in ipconfig, you can see my ENS33 is 192.168.194.134. This is my IP of this is my net IP of virtual machine actually. And we can see here that it is trying to go to the gateway of this specific uh, local area network and trying to fetch the result of givemetheflag.com domain from my gateway. Since we do not want this, that is why we are specifying the domain server to be this. Or you can say the name servers, we are specifying the name server to be this specific server. That is why if we execute this command, you can see the packets were sent to the TryHackMe VPN IP and to this specific name server. And then we get the contents from that specific name server. So I hope this video kind of helped you understand a little bit more about the DNS. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can always contact me on Discord. And that is for this video, and I'll see you next time.